Alrighty guys, welcome back. We are now not too far away from the final game of the day. I'm just going to check on how many players are in the server. I am still joined by the ever beautiful and delightful Dogbert, who's been with me the entirety of today. We don't have too many players in the server, but we can have a little chat about it and how it's gone so far and what we can expect to be seeing from this game. So Dogbert, are you still alive and with us?
I am indeed, I am indeed.
Still sounding gruff and beautiful as ever. But just to give people an update, I believe that MYM already won their game, so doing pretty damn good. They're clearly doing their job and keeping up to their reputation, let's just say. So this was the only game we had available because basically all the others had started by the time our epic game of 3 maps was done. And we can have a little look at those matchups and see if the brackets have been updated. I'm not sure if they have been. Because it has just been reported. I know Meet Your Makers are through indeed. So Meet Your Makers beating Isuba 2-0. You kind of expected that one. Outside of that, ExAequo against Fnatic. We'll be watching that one to see who will be meeting Meet Your Makers in the semi-finals, which the ever beautiful and delightful Dogbert will be casting tomorrow. And other than that, we have Wartime Dignity up against Paracel. A bit of a surprising one. I thought Dignitas would probably be that opponent. I think that's a surprise to me. So interesting to see how that one pans out. And then outside that, Epsilon up against ESC. So I'm not sure. How do you think the Epsilon game's going to go? Do you think it's theirs to pretty much pick up?
Yeah, I would say they're pretty much... it could be a close game. I think Epsilon will probably get that one. And I think Pyrogen will probably take out Wartime Dignity. Obviously, a bit of an upset that they took out Dignitas there. But we'll have to wait and see how they take that win. Obviously, a huge one for them. Their biggest win so far.
Definitely.
But up against Pyrogen, obviously a very, very experienced team. Meet Your Makers in the beat ExAequo. Oh, I can't even say that. Oh my god. No, they didn't beat ExAequo. They beat ExUber. And they'll be taking on the winner of this game. We'll be watching, obviously. But the ExAequo guys, you know, met them over at IEM when I was down there looking after our CSGO team. And... they're nice guys, really are. And I was very, very surprised when they didn't make it to the EMS last season. Obviously, got caught out, I believe it was by ESC or Planet Key, one of the two.
I think it was Planet Key. I've got a feeling, because they did something brilliant at the end of their games. I think it was on Zavod, was one of the winning maps, if I'm not mistaken. I might be, but I've got a feeling it was Planet Key. I'm not too sure, though.
But so it was very surprising to see them get taken out. They've got some really strong players in that team. So good. I'm just going to bring up that team quickly so I can remember who it was. But they are seriously one of the better teams and probably the best team that didn't make it to the LAN final. And one I expect to hopefully see do well today. I mean, there's no love lost between me and Fnatic, so I would love the ExAequo guys to win today, but it'll be very difficult for them, I feel, especially after, Fnatic have probably just been through the ring of fire in a way, and they came out on top, so they're pretty warmed up. But, this is going to be an interesting one, but, it has been a bit of a surprising day already, just with Wartime Dignity taking out Dig, and just that first map, really, against Fnatic is really... shook up what people were expecting out of these games.
Yeah, a lot. See, that's the thing, though. We get to this point towards the later stages of the Cups, and then especially in the group stages, everyone just becomes a bit of a surprise, really. You never know what's going to happen, because as you said, the play shot of ExAequo not making it through really was a big surprise. They'd played really solidly throughout the entirety of the online Cups, played really well there, came down to the groups and bits like this, and they just really struggled. And it was shocking to see, to be completely honest with you. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens in the next couple of games, because obviously the groups are coming up not too far from now. So I don't know who we're going to be seeing in the offline finals. Obviously there's a couple of teams you can pretty much put your money on saying, yeah, no worries, they'll be here. But outside of that, I'd say the top 5 you can assume. Let's be realistic about this. Top 5 you can pretty much assume is going to be there. Not sure about how they perform on the offline finals. Obviously, Fnatic not making it further than they did was a real shock. But, outside of that top 5, you never know who's really going to step up when it really matters. So, I don't know. It's very hard when we get to this stage because it all just comes down to who turns up on the day, pretty much. And some teams do and some teams don't, sadly. But in this game, do you think Fnatic might have a run for their money, or do you think maybe that warm-up in the last game might have put them on a little bit of a tilt to just go absolutely crazy here?
I feel Fnatic, if anything, the only chance. I don't want to say that. I think it
Ooh,
would.
harsh words.
I think for ExAequo, they really need to hope that Fnatic kind of come in expecting an easier game, but they're going to get. The ExAequo guys are really good. I've already said that. But Fnatic are just that team at the moment that you got to beat. And they're always at the top of the table. They're like when you play Mortal Kombat. They're like sitting up at the very end. They're like the final boss in BF4 alongside Epsilon. So, it is that kind of situation. If they win this game right now, they might as well say they've won the cup this week, because that's how big a victory it would be for them. And more importantly, the points they get from it would definitely give them an advantage coming into the group stages next week, where it's the most important game they're going to play in this season.
I actually do want to check and see where they are in the rankings, actually, exactly, because I'm not too sure, actually, saying that. Let's have a little look. So they're in 7th at the moment. They've been getting 25 points each time, so that's meaning they've got through to this round, but they've never gone further. So basically, if they pick up this game, they'll beat their record through this season, and they'll be in a perfect spot to take over towards the rest of the opponents. Because, to be fair, it is very close within this, top 8. Even the top 10 really is still very, very close. So I'm curious to see how this one goes down. And I really do hope, they can prove themselves to be absolutely on point here. And just not cause an upset necessarily, but just, prove that they are a very good team. Because a lot of people overlooked them when they didn't see them at the offline finals. When you don't see a name there, you're like, oh, maybe they weren't that good. Maybe they're just a bit of an online team. They're not. They just had, a couple of bad games. But in the group stages, that's all it takes to cost you, your place in the offline finals. And they felt the kind of brunt of that more than anything.
Yeah, it must feel really bad to come back close to so well and then just not make it through the groups when, especially when they were in the kind of bracket where they looked like they were good. They won their first game, actually, and then I haven't got the stats here to back it up, but I'm pretty sure they won their first game, and then eventually they took out either Panicky or UC and then had to fight them again and then lost, and that's what put them out. So it came down to the last game, and man, they must have felt bitter after that.
Oh god, yeah, that must have been horrific. We are waiting on their final member. Hopefully we can get a nudge from the admins to make sure these guys do get in the server, because it is getting quite late. Not too late, but still quite late. I would like to go home at some point in my life. I like the discussion that people are having, like, we should make this a best of 5. I'm like, no, we shouldn't. I would never leave this building if we had a best of 5. It'd be terrible. Best of 5 throughout the entirety of the cup stage. I would be living in the ESL offices. Terrible admins. This is why you can't trust them with anything. No. How do you feel about a best of 5, Dog? But would you be up for it?
No. Please, no. Like,
we would never leave.
I've done, I did that solo day of casting for the Alienware Cup for Dig. 2 days of solo casting on BF4, and it was best of 3 in all of the games, and I literally killed myself. I had no voice by the end of it. I was just an absolute wreck. Please never again. I mean, I've also done NorthCon, which basically ended up with the games finishing at 3 o'clock and starting again at 7. No, 8.
Wow.
So, like, waking up, and I didn't get sleep. I couldn't sleep at all, so I had, 1 hour sleep, and me and Chad just tried to power through. Our games didn't finish on the last day until 4 in the morning. So, it was just like, I felt like, I don't even know how I survived. I could have been the first caster to die. It could have been that bad.
To be fair, I think World of Tanks was one of the longest ones I've done, to be completely honest, because the draw map rule, we had 7 draws on one map. So I'm not sure if I quite sympathise just yet, but casting the same map 7 times in a row when they don't move. It literally had as much movement as I'm staring at on the B site right now with those tanks there. There was nothing going on, so it was a horrific time to be trying to make it sound exciting when they're literally not moving. And it wasn't your team, actually. It was Virtus Pro who were doing it, because Virtus Pro do what they want.
Yeah, they like to drag their games out, but
just a touch.
Just a little, but that is the nature of the game sometimes, I guess.
It is. And they wouldn't ever do anything if they didn't have the advantage, so they just sat.
Yeah, say what you want about Battlefield, but it is quite quick, and it's never going to be dragged out too long. It's pretty much fast and furious in that respect. I mean, I must admit, the game, I'll always remember two games in BF that really were just so much fun, and it was UMAV versus MYM, which went down to like 2 tickets on Glocker, and it was won by UMAV, but so close. And obviously MYM versus Pyrogen in the LAN finals. Like those
that was
games
brilliant, yeah.
were insane. But the thing is, and obviously MYM came away the winners in that. But I was looking at each map. For Paragem won, they didn't just win it; they dominated it. They came away with like 90% of the tickets in those games, but the games they lost against MYM were like 5 to 10 tickets. Like that's how crazy it was. And the only map that MYM came out with a big score was the final one on Shanghai, and came away with like 60 tickets. But even then, 60 tickets isn't that big, so it's very surprising.
See, there's been some great moments in Battlefield so far. I really have enjoyed what we've got to cast to this point, and I honestly want to be casting the offline finals. I'll have a bit of a diva hissy fit if I don't. I'll throw all the toys out of my pram. Don't worry, it will happen. I've already threatened Toby and Red Eye with this, that toys will be thrown if Lauren does not get to cast the offline finals. Just mean, cruel people keeping me away.
It was so in a way I chose like not to do the Pyrogen Fnatic game because I was just like, which game is going to be more interesting, UMAV versus MYM or Fnatic versus Pyro? And I did the same thing, but I think Fnatic did, and a lot of people, and I was just like 2-0 Fnatic. They will take this game, LAN experience, everything you would expect, and man, did they shut us up. I mean, everyone in the studios was just like, oh my God, this is happening. You had Zinto there, who was obviously the Fnatic manager. He just looking on, just like, what is going on here? This game is going crazy. And then you had ExAequo, who just had a massive... Not only did he like capture a flag and get an 8-man kill streak, you watched a very smart play. He watched Mort leave the flag, waited for him to leave the flag, waited until that Ro8 was at the best moment to strike, and then he got the kills and the flags, and they were stunned, and so stunned. Some of them didn't even know if they wanted to keep playing, and something I keep saying to them, and they get really upset about it, but at the end of the day, that's how they reacted. And man, Pyrogen, that was their tournament to win, and even though they lost it, I still feel they kind of won it. It's just in the performances they had on the day, it was just so good.
It was pretty damn incredible, right? I'm going to check in with the admins very, very quickly, see what the hell is going on, because as much as I like waiting, and you guys at home like waiting, we all like to chill out and wait, I think we want some Battlefield. Hopefully, they will start soon, because I want to watch some more Battlefield, but right now... I'm just going to watch Jack Fragg's videos instead.
All right, sit here and reminisce over past Battlefield.
Well,
it's interesting.
There's not that much to talk back to, though. We only had one like offline event so far, so I hope we keep having more. Like, okay, in ESL format, we've only had one offline event, so I need more. I wasn't even there, so you're just rubbing it in. You're like, look at all these great moments we had that you weren't there for. Thanks, Dog.
It's good fun. Well, yeah, you had tanks to do. And tanks finals. Way tanks. Yeah, Jack Frags. Yeah, his videos are brilliant. You know, I was looking through other rival YouTubers' videos of some big names and so on. Yep. And I honestly think Jack Frags for the games he does, it puts so much effort into his stuff, much better than I think a lot of people. And I would never say he's one of those people that films a certain game just because they know it's going to get him a load of views. He does a game, in most cases, because he loves it.
How much did he pay you to say that?
He didn't pay me anything.
Liar.
It's just I've spent a lot of time.
Liar.
It's just I've spent a lot of time going through other YouTubers recently. Okay.
Bet he has a Ding Test t-shirt.
Nah, you know what, Pansy? I will bring you one. Don't worry.
That's the only reason you're having an invite to the next offline finals. But guys, we are just about ready to get underway into the final game here. ExAequo up against Fnatic. It'll be Zavod to start with. Not sure whose choice this is. I think you probably know that one.
think this will be ExAequo's game. I actually don't know. This is a random guess, but it makes sense considering how dominant Fnatic were on Paracel. And straight off the bat here, ExAequo getting the original C capture, but that B flag is the one that's going to be up in the air right now. And so far, no one's really got a control of it. First blood goes to Fnatic. Make that 2 in a row now. And this ain't looking good for them. Fnatic getting the capture of B and getting a 3-man kill straight off the bat and straight away on the offensive.
Yeah, they're not messing around. Zordon is waiting for the push across. Maybe to do a little bit of a sneaky recap here. He's got the spot though. He's going to go straight for the kill. That might have been a mistake. It is in the end. The respawns are coming in. Will get caught out as well. They're being dropped down immediately. ExAequo being mowed down in place. And what a beautiful hold towards B from Fnatic. Just keeping that one in check. And as Valu hunting down for more prey, finding ExAequo in mid, and now, well, it's not looking too good for ExAequo. Not the best of starts, but they can certainly build from it. But they need to start doing that pretty damn quickly. You do not want to allow Fnatic to start that ball rolling early on.
Yeah, and they're going to get this C capture, but, you know, Fnatic are just already nipping at their heels here, and ExAequo getting the worst position, really stuck in the middle of the map, and Fnatic here probably going to get a full domination cap, and you know what, Panji, you might get a very quick game here in an early night, but right now Fnatic is just doing everything they need to just keep control. They haven't lost a ticket yet. Look at that, 150.
Jesus Christ.
This is not good.
Yeah, this is really not good, and I'm just sticking on board with Drunks right now because he's running with the AK with the iron sights flat on it with the laser sight and the compensator. So it's really, I'm not sure why he's sticking with this one, but he might be putting it to good use right now. He gets the first kill towards Zordon. He's gonna have to be careful. There are a lot more players very close by. Oh, that nade not gonna help out, but it doesn't take him too long. Gonna switch back into the side, picks up one, goes for the second. He's gonna get a nice little double frag in the end, but does get picked up. So at least ExAequo will finally start chipping away those tickets from the absolute mountain that Fnatic maintains, 149 to 100. This is a perfect start for Fnatic, but a real dire one for ExAequo.
Yeah, just not the position you want. Stuck with one flag as well. The bleed has not left Fnatic at all, and this is just, they're just getting dumpstered right now. This is nasty. But finally, some kills coming in for ExAequo, but it's just not enough. And they're running a lot of FAMASs as well, but you know, finally they get the bleed on their side for once in this game, and it is the better one, the A and C, the B and C, but Fnatic are all over them still.
Certainly are, and finally we see Drunks going down, running with that AEK, really doing the damage, 7-1 so far, but Terra coming in, making sure he's keeping hold of that C side. Valu just biding out his time, maybe waiting for some respawns. Too Easy and Mort will be up in any second now. Here comes Valu, coming and takes down Terra. There's a couple more players on side, one rotating round the back. Valu holds strong, Mort finds ExAequo. The side push continues, he's going straight for the kills, gets the tag, gets the assist, and now claims that C site for themselves. And look at Too Easy, all the way back around towards C, looking for these shots. He's got the tag and the kill. Beautiful play from Fnatic, but they have lost out on some of the control.
Yeah, and this is where it starts to become a serious issue for them. I mean, no, sorry, for Fnatic, it's not really a serious issue. They've got so many tickets ahead, it's not really a problem. They just need to keep getting these kills. And the issue right now is that they just could not stop Fnatic no matter how many men they put in front of them. They just go through them like a buzzsaw. And what are you going to do at this point? The rotations for Fnatic are crisp. The kills are numerous. It's just a disaster right now.
Yeah, Fnatic on point is horrific to watch if you're a fan of the opponents, because they are just unbelievable as a team. But right now it's going to be a 2-1 hold against them, so we're going to have to see if Drunks can reopen up this A-bomb side. He knows there's at least two players here. He caught a glimpse of another. Not sure if he's aware. He takes down Probo, but looks for the follow-up. Oh, he's going to get it. This AEK is tearing people in half. Terra goes down. Drunks claims A all by himself, and the rest of Fnatic can now focus on this C site.
Yeah, and they need to do something, and they need to get control of that B and C and just kind of keep Fnatic out near A. But the problem is they can't. And that's the issue. Yeah, trip cap coming in. And what are you going to do at this point? I kind of feel like this is a rout.
Fnatic, I think they're a little bit warmed up from the last game, let's just say. And they seem to have maintained that. So A will be going over towards ExAequo, so at least they've got that to work from. But at 117 to 60, you've got to be weighing up your options here because this is not the best start in the world. Blade also around with the AK, not being able to do just as much damage just yet. Going to make his way in towards C. Does pick up too easy, but a quick avenging kill for Valu. Comes back and forth. He's actually unfixed to pick that up. And his Valu will eventually go down in mid, but still, straight away, Drunk's in a position to annoy at A if he wants to. Maybe work his way around mid, support at C, because right now, it looks like ExAequo will be heading up the C site. More on the point here. Looking around for the opponents. He knows they're up still. Oh, I don't know how he stayed alive that long, to be honest. The C is now being overrun. Drunk, so coming around, finds Probo. Looks for some more. Too easy's down as well. He's up against the odds, but Valu with him. They're playing the up and down game. Two of the players are down, two are up. But ExAequo mowing their way back in. Miziak is now picking up the same AEK style, but he can't do the damage. And Fnatic get a nice little wipe onto this one. They should be able to turn over. Surely the C side. Actually, no, tell a lie. Terra stayed up, and Terra will get those revives in for the site.
Yeah, but you can see the differences here. Fnatic are perfectly comfortable to fight these battles a man or two man down, while ExAequo are really focusing on trying to get as many people into these fights as possible. Fnatic are well and truly happy to do that, and that helps them get the flag capture and keep the lead. But man, this is just getting nasty right now. I mean, Fnatic might lose out on the odd fight, but they're not losing out on the continuous bleed, and that's what's going to give them a victory here.
Yeah, Fnatic will be picking up that AC hold, looking maybe to reclaim on towards B. More picking up that Famas, actually, so a little bit of a switch up from the first game where we saw just those aces running with them. They may be enjoying that one, but right now they're being pretty much held in place by these nades, and a nice little spit from Probo could pick up a 2-1 hold in favor to ExAequo, so maybe this big lead will be starting to be chipped away at. But the big wipe coming out towards B is surely going to give this over towards Fnatic, as ExAequo trying to find a way through, but as you said, the one-on-ones just generally don't seem to be going their way, and they start to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, and a two-man hold for Fnatic. No, they get completely wiped there, and finally, actually, it seems like they can actually get their attacks up and running here. They need to chip away as much as they can from this lead, but 89, 88 tickets. They do have a lead, though, but that A flag is looking very, very vulnerable.
It really is. Probo trying to hold on to it with that Famas in hand. He gets shunned down in the end by the likes of Valu, leaving too easy to cap over the flag. Zordon is waiting in the wings. He could make the counter push. Actually watching out for the respawn. Oh no, does not land the shots he needed to. Big mistake from him. Gets shut down by Fnatic. And they get that 2-1 hold. They've got the bleed against ExAequo. That's down to 22 tickets already. But a good back spawn could gift another 2-1 hold to ExAequo here if they get it right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they need to play smart here. They need to just get these bleed and keep them going. But there's Valutaja taking a risk and opening up that C flag. You can see actually kind of chase him down here, but Valutaja doing the right thing, waiting it out. If he can get these 2 kills coming in, though, it'll be really big for them. But Fnatic just trying to keep this bleed going, and you know, finally it does seem that ExAequo are kind of getting a handle on this game. But with only 14 tickets remaining, it's probably too little, too late.
There's always a second half, but still, 76 is a big lead. A will be going Fnatic's way if Too Easy can stay alive. So a triple cap to end with. Not going to be looking good for ExAequo to chip away any other tickets from these boys. They're going to go for the last push on towards B. I don't think they even have the time to do it, and these kills coming in not going to help out. And credit where it's due. Drunk 17 to 8, 15 to 7 to Too Easy, 13 to 6 for Valu. Big, high, heavy hitting kills coming in for Fnatic. And as you said, the rotations were crisp, the team play was on point, and Fnatic were landing their shots. And I think they were just a little bit warmed up from that first game they played there, or the second game.
Just a little, and I think being able to be staying at 150 tickets for like 2 minutes into the game generally is telling you how this map went. I mean, that is just brutal.
Yeah, it really is, and you can see on the kills, no one breaking positive for ExAequo, and they are talented players. It's awful when we say it's like, yeah, it's gonna be a close game. They're very talented, and you see a one-sided stomp. It's generally because Fnatic are on a real tilt right now. They're not playing this kind of normal Battlefield. They're playing above and beyond Battlefield. It's hard to watch, but you know, ExAequo, they now know what they're up against. As we noted at the end, they did start to turn it around a little bit. They kind of started to work things out, and if they maybe start off with that on the second half, they could do something. Obviously, it's not the biggest lead we've seen today. We saw Fnatic with a 98 ticket lead, which was the biggest I think we've seen today to this point. Yeah, so that's the biggest one on Storm. So it can be done. So I hope they can just kind of turn up a little bit. And I've got to say, I'm loving Drunks with that weapon. He's really kind of switching things up. And it's nice seeing a little bit of unique play coming out. Not everyone running with the Ace or not everyone with the AEK, you know, with the standard kind of attachments or whatever. It's nice seeing a little bit of a unique kind of style towards it. So I'm looking forward to see what he can do with it. And he does have the Quake logo on his gun. So I thought I saw that on someone's arm, and I was like, no, it won't be Fnatic, because they're surely all regimented to wear only Fnatic colours for the rest of their lives, but apparently not. It's always interesting.
Well, the ExAequo guys are running Aces.
They are going for a switch up as well.
AEK, and I think
it's
they got the Mass as well.
Yeah. I did see ExAequo actually picking up the same style weapon, so it's nice seeing it in play, actually. It does make a big difference rather than just the same old the same old gun, should I say. But still, we are into the second half now, so it will be Fnatic starting on the US side. So let me switch that one around for you guys. And ExAequo will be on the Russian side. And right now we are seeing ExAequo going straight towards B, straight towards A, picking up their retrospective sites. But it will be ExAequo walking away with a 2-1 hold for now. But Fnatic going straight in for the challenge. And Morton and Unfix have done the damage. They're pushing in straight away. The last man near the side is ExAequo. Can he do anything here? Last man in the squad. Everyone else got dominated. And right now, B is being swung over towards Fnatic's favour, and this is not the start they wanted here.
Yeah, definitely not, and that's a full wipe there. And straight away, B and C captured over the two most important flags from the map, and ExAequo hold on to A, but really, that's the booby prize in this matchup, because Fnatic can just sit here with that B and C, and that's kind of looks like they're going for. Probably going to harass that A whenever they get the kills, but right now, just look at that, tickets just dropping away, and Fnatic, man, they're just looking too good right now.
But there is a glimmer of hope towards that C site for a second. Probo did manage to take down one, but the revive will be coming in anyway as 2Z does hold on. So the AB hold still holding strong. Mid has been broken through by ExAequo, so looking to maybe make their way around towards that C site from both angles. Blade now coming in from the B side, but does get shut down. And it's just not looking too comfortable for ExAequo. They can't find that footing they want. Terra eyeing up B, but A being swung over straight away by Fnatic. And as you said, look at those tickets, 122 to 143. Already very big difference there.
Yeah, devastating in a way, but you know, Fnatic here are just going to rotate perfectly. They lose out of B, but they take A. They're just kind of sitting right in the middle of the map and moving wherever they need to, and ExAequo doing what they can, but just look at the lead already for Fnatic. It is so substantial, and this is going to be a short game if Fnatic can keep playing like this.
And Drunks then, just once again, being a monster. 3 big kills. I doubted him. I was like, do you know what? I miss Winghaven. And suddenly Drunks is like, do you know what? Let me just prove to you that I'm awesome. 3-1 already for him. Looking for more. He's held on to C by himself. A is now vulnerable. I want to stick on board with this guy. He went so big last time. Just for a couple of seconds. See how he wants to challenge out on A. He knows there's a couple of players here, quite possibly. And he spotted one. He does get the exchange, not the shutdown. So maybe I should back away from him, leave him to his own thing. I feel like I'm going to be his bad luck charm. But still, at the moment, a 2-1 hold for ExAequo. They're doing what they can. They're trying to find their footing in this, find their way back in. Bit of a passive play from Blade on the back of A, leaving 2 players to split through mid. Maybe looking towards, you know, maybe B, or just going around the back of the players threatening A. And ExAequo, what do they need to do here to keep on this kind of 2-1 hold?
They need to keep the rotations as good as they can. They can't go up one-on-one with Fnatic, so they need to try and go around them, get that C and B capture when they can, and jump off onto A or whatever they got free when they can. But as soon as they start fighting Fnatic on even numbers, they're going to come out short, and right now that's kind of what's happening here. They've managed to isolate too easy up by A, and they're doing a good job over at B as well, kind of doing what I was saying, just outnumbering and overpowering, and finally they seem to be getting some control in this game, but they've got like 20 tickets left.
Yeah, we saw a glimmer of hope on that first half towards the end then, but I feel like it's once again kind of gone off to the way it started, very one-sided, and in the moment it's all to ExAequo, who look... oh, sorry, excuse me, it's all to Fnatic, who look pretty damn good right now. And they do have the players back up. Fnatic have B. Again, the respawn's in through mid, trying to find the kills here. Open the sights up, more laying down the fire. No real shots landing, but you can see them just swarming over A, and A is now open and vulnerable for the taking. Valutage is not going to look that sort of gift and to just say no. He's going to pick up A for themselves, and rather than hitting up B, it looks like the ExAequo guys are going to try and challenge out on A. They're going to get the back spawns in, but 95 tickets is not a lot to work with, and already Fnatic moving in towards C. That's not good.
Yeah, this is beginning and the end, really, but this is all in the first map, and there's a trip cap here, and what can you do at this point? Even if they can get this flag and get a wipe, they can barely spawn in at this point.
Yeah, and that is a big factor to this one. So I'm hoping they can pull maybe something out, but as you said, 2-1 hold is still enough with a couple of kills coming off the back. 75 tickets was all they had to really work with, or at least their minimal point they could get to. He does get taken down by Drunk. C is being challenged, but there's still Fnatic players close by to make it hurt. And there's 75 tickets, but not drop low just yet. But any respawn is now going to kill these guys on the first map. There we have it. 74 has been reached. First map goes to Fnatic. And well, it's all eyes on the second one. And I think it's going to be Storm.
Yeah, that is going to be the map that I believe Fnatic have picked. So
I wouldn't be surprised after the last way they played it.
So I'd be feeling very worried as ExAequo now. I mean, that was pretty one-sided.
Yeah, that was
they were
one-sided game.
They heard you saying, you know, I want to go home at some point tonight, and they thought, oh,
well,
right,
don't put this on me. There is no,
your fault.
No, I'm not having that.
That is some angry polls. It'll be like, wait, that's what Pansy said. Oh, I'm trying to win this quick. No, we just like.
Wow, thank you, Dogbert. See, I mock you once. I mock you once, maybe not once, maybe several times. But you go and blame it on me.
I've written it all down.
Really?
Like, yeah,
do you have a notepad filled with it? I have a notepad as well, but it's not filled with Dogbert notes. I think I do need to keep one, maybe. Keep track of what Dogbert says, slyly. That most people don't realise either. That's a sad thing. Like, everyone thinks you're a nice guy, Dogbert. No, not at all. Bad guy, Dogbert.
Only people who met me know the
true secret. You should go to an ice series and wait till you see Dogbert just kind of meandering towards the alcoholic beverage selling area and just keep track of him through the evening and see how it goes. It always becomes hilarious towards one point of it. So it's certainly worth doing if you are at an ice series. I kind of miss going to ice series. I might turn up to one soon enough and just chill around for a bit and just pester you for t-shirts. I think is the only way to do it, or pester anyone I can for free things, because that's what ice series are about, you know? It's not about playing the games, it's about the free stuff you can get. Like any other event.
Yeah. You just like to pillage any booth I'm running. I know your game.
I didn't pillage. I won legitimately, thank you.
Pillaged would be the best description
legitimately.
of how you came away. I have
Those small children were great opponents.
You came in like some barbarian, just carrying away all the prizes under each arm and just be like, yeah, the tears of my enemies, who were all under the age of 12 at least. So yeah, that is an apt description of what you did the last time you went to a booth that I was running.
I don't see the issue, to be fair.
So they probably went home to their parents and told me about how the bad lady destroyed them at video games.
It was a fair contest, and you put a game I play on a stage with prizes to be won that was probably worth more than what the prize pot for the competitive tournament was. So, of course, me and a couple of other players were like, well, this seems a much better idea. Let's go and beat 14-year-olds at this game. It was a brilliant plan. Much better plan. That's how you make money at a LAN. Don't play the games, just go to the stands and win all of it. Shouldn't be saying that, but, you know, that's how we roll.
Mercenary gamers, yo. Play whatever we can.
It literally is. When you start weighing up the options of, do we play racing games? Not sure. It's a terrible thing to be waiting on, but I think we are just waiting for everyone to be ready, and it looked like it was us who was last. Blaming it on the terrible PC, not our conversation. It's never my fault, is what you will learn as well. It's always Dogbert's. Dogbert is holding us up.
Whoa! I'm getting so much harass. Like, you know,
so much harass.
Wow.
I'm standing up for what you said to Too Easy. To be fair, you are abusive. Poor guy.
Oh, sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Anyone in chat who's ever played or played against Too Easy, if you feel that kind of person needs to in any way not be dissed or have names called out, then you definitely are not doing it right, because let's get it out there, that guy trash talks for Fnatic. He is literally paid to trash talk the other teams. I don't know about his gaming skill. I haven't seen much evidence of it today, but his typing is top notch, and he definitely went to this school.
Alright, well, because of that, we're going to watch Too Easy from the start. It will be Fnatic on the Chinese side. The US side will be ExAequo. We need to see what sort of gaming skills he has. We don't know if he's just there for the trolling, but we'll find out, as Value and him will be working towards that B side. So already a bit of a challenge probably coming down for this man here. As we do see him going straight in for the shots. Does actually get the assist, so nice work from them claiming those buildings towards the side, or at least getting a good start towards them, as there is still Zordon up and looking towards these guys. Nades coming through, none really connecting, and overall we are still seeing the challenge on A. Mort there in a bit of a fierce battle in the end, but he does win it out, takes down Terra, picks up the site, and actually Fnatic could be going for a big triple cap early on if they can hold B long enough here.
Yeah, definitely, and obviously Too Easy's been listening to what we've been saying, because he's trying here not to get killed. I'm going to stick with him as well, just because I want to see him die, because he will eventually. But right now, yeah, ExAequo gets getting stuck out at that B flag, and there you go, he gets absolutely destroyed because of how bad he is. And there's the B flag over for ExAequo, and it doesn't really matter though, because that A and C flag are firmly in control for Fnatic. That bleed is going to hurt. They need to do something quick, but they are going for that building control, which is great, but they need to make something out of that soon.
Yeah, they really do. As you said, giving Fnatic any sort of lead, you're kind of toying with a bit of a monster there. It's not something I'll be playing with, so Mort there catches a glimpse of one, doesn't actually land the shot. He lets that one slip and leaves Drunks to clear up his mess. Drunks does come back in for the ride, claims a little bit of control of these buildings, but that AK not as potent when it comes to any sort of range there. He does get outdone by those Ace 23s coming into effect, and now finally this 2-to-1 hold towards ExAequo could be maintained, because Blade is going to be trying to fend this one off. There are players encroaching in towards the site, round the long side, so Blade needs to be careful here. He's not exactly in those subtle positions. He didn't expect them to push up so quickly. Catches a glimpse. I don't know how the other player didn't take the shot. Finally, he does go down to Valu. Valu will be claiming that one over, so it'll be an AC hold for Fnatic, but the battle's still raging on in those buildings. Yeah,
and this map really does come down to building control a lot of the time. It's really helpful to get spots on spawns because it gives you such a high ground advantage. But some teams get suckered into it maybe a bit too much and kind of forget about the flags. We ain't seeing any rocket launchers getting thrown into this game. That does happen a lot. We actually saw that in our last game against Fnatic.
Yes, we did.
But, you know, it's hit and miss, and it's a double-edged sword. But right now, you know, ExAequo doing what they can, kind of tying down a few Fnatic guys in those buildings. They get the bleed, but, you know, they're not keeping tabs on any of these Fnatic guys, and they're just running wild on these flag captures.
Yeah, they really are, and proven by Unfix, just meandering near on unchallenged up towards B right now. He's going to at least make this over towards the Fnatic side for a couple of seconds if unchallenged. The rest of his teammates are dying within those buildings, but it's holding back the opponents, allowing him to get one kill. Oh, and a stunning double coming through for him. But it's done enough to claim the B and C site. Perfectly played in the end, but whether or not they can maintain this is a different factor here, because Terra is still within those buildings and is still within touching distance of getting this back in hand. But you know, this play so far is just looking like ExAequo can't quite convert like they were before, can't quite challenge like they were, because at the moment it could be another trip cap coming out for Fnatic.
Yeah, and it's really painful if a Morty here trying to get that capture. He's surrounded on all sides, but really doesn't mean anything. I mean, even though Fnatic, they're getting shut down on a capture for A, they've still got the other two flags, they've still got that bleed going, and they're keeping the building control as well. So they're pretty much just ticking off the boxes and all the things they need to keep this game firmly in their control, and ExAequo really just haven't made much of it so far.
Yeah, and that's going to really become quite the trouble soon as Unfixed roaming around, making sure no one's pushing to C. You might need to assume there's going to be the B push. He does. He finds Mesiak. You can tell the rest of the Fnatic guys you might be in trouble because they're starting to push these buildings, and Drunks goes for the cleanup, picks up Zordon, and these kills are just falling back to back for Fnatic right now. Nades coming out in unison, and well, Too Easy now round the backside, going for them a little bit of a sneaky clear up here, tries to find the players out of position. He does get shut down in the end, but the avenging kill coming back in fourth, and Fnatic just looking dominant. Triple cap coming into boot, and well, you can see as to why. It's perfect cohesion between these.
Yeah, they just feel confident to go for pretty much every flag they can, and ExAequo really just seem to be stopping dead in their tracks here. They just seem to be questioning every attack. They just nothing going their way. Finally get some movement out of A, but it doesn't really matter. Once again, get a kill of A, get the flag capture, but no real control on the map and no way to control the pace, and Fnatic are just running like all over the place. There's nothing they can do to stop them. And
you're absolutely spot on. It's exactly what we're trying. They are trying to push back in towards B from A once they claim it, but you know, there's no lockdown. There's no players being caught out from Fnatic. They're just being able to be roaming around, getting these kills in the bag. Too Easy's probably going to spot out a couple in front of it, leaving more to push forward. Be the kind of threat from the back, and he's going to be doing just that. Gets the tag, gets the assist, and it's a clean up towards B. They may lose out on C, but there's still Valu just playing this persistent chilled out role, 6-2, doesn't need to get more involved in this. He can get the respawns when necessary, and leave him to just push back down towards B. 47 to 114. Fnatic are in the form that we know they can hit, but rarely get there.
Yeah, and right now it's just difficult to watch in a way. The ExAequo guys, I picked them up before this game, and they are really, really good. But the problem is, Fnatic are just better right now. And, you know, they've come out from the last EMS finals, crashing out the semi-finals and getting dominated 2-0. And, you know, they've really got something to prove. And they already feel like they will win this LAN final as soon as they get there. So you can just show where that confidence comes out in all these games. And even in 2easy's trash talking. So, you know, and they're just showing it right now. They're backing it up completely.
They really are. 112 still. They've not dropped below 100, and they might just pick up B for the sake of it, because the only player who could challenge is being hunted down by 3 Fnatic players. Drunks being one of them. Just literally being so painful to watch on occasion as Drunks pushes into the building, finds Zordon, and it's going to be a trip cap, surely, to end this with this. I don't think there's much more to be doing at this point. Blade tries to find A. It seems to be the only thing they've been able to pick up so far, and Fnatic... I doubt them at times. They don't hit that form at times. But when they do, they look incredible. And ExAequo are a great opponent. They really are. When we were talking about them at the start, we weren't joking. They are very, very talented, but you're not seeing it right now.
Yeah, it's just nasty. I mean, there's a trip cap, and it's been constant for Fnatic on this map especially. They just need to be able to get it against every team they go up against, and man, that's 110 tickets. And yeah, this is just brutal.
My heart kind of goes out towards ExAequo. They are a good team. But the thing with Fnatic is sometimes you hit them in this stage, or you get them in the quarterfinals or somewhere around this, and Fnatic aren't on point Fnatic. They're not this Fnatic. They're the maybe lose a map, maybe, you know, drop a half, whatever it is. They're the slightly less on point Fnatic. They're not these guys. But then once in a blue moon, you find this lot who are just untouchable. They've got Drunks on 11-6, Unfixed 13-5, 2easy 12-9. You had Value just locking down one site for almost the entirety of the game on 6-3, and Mort doing the safety job on 8-6. What can you do against it? I feel bad for ExAequo. I really do, because they are such a good team, but you're not going to see it when they're playing like this.
I'm actually trying to wonder if ExAequo are missing one of their stand lineup. There's someone in that lineup I should know, and he's not on there right now. I don't know if he's changed his name as players like to do to really just annoy us commentators. But
I hate it when they do this.
I think there is someone missing off that lineup, unless he's renamed himself. I'll ask as soon as we get back into this round. But yeah, ExAequo just not looking the same right now.
Not sure what to make of this, but Paracel Storm, second half now, a bigger lead in the pockets of Fnatic. And let's bear in mind, at the start of the first half here, the start of this map, Fnatic barely lost a ticket for quite an extended bit of time. It was not a pretty sight. Fnatic looked strong. And if they get off to that start, trouble is all we can say. So Fnatic will be on the US side. The Chinese side will be ExAequo. And I hate to say it, but I don't see this going any other way than Fnatic's.
Yeah, there you go. Seho, one of the players for ExAequo, he left, and he's not able to play. So I think he's been DDoSed by Zinto, according to 2easy. So yeah, he's definitely one of the better players for ExAequo, and one of the better players in BF4 actually. So it's really a shame not to see him, and I think that could be a big issue. They are playing with a ringer here, so, and it's definitely not helping them as Fnatic start off the map straight away with a CNA capture.
Yeah, and 2easy's looking for more. He's going to go pouncing over the wall, finding Terror, taking him down, and giving the follow-up possibly on towards B. Gets a couple of shots, gets taken down in the back eventually by ExAequo, but still, 2-1 hold, you know. 110 tickets is not far away from the very starting point of this. Blade gets the revive. Every kill is gonna hurt ExAequo. Every single time they die, they're in trouble. Quickly gonna go back towards A, but Fnatic players are focusing towards B. They have C, they're going for B. This was the setup they ended up with before. They put Value on towards C. They left the rest to just lock down B, constantly be a pest, and hell, pick up A when they fancied it. But at the moment, it's going to be Mort getting himself back in towards these buildings. Unfixed as well. Unfixed, one of the top fraggers from the last game. peering across and looking for a way through. ExAequo looking to challenge on B, but it's not finding the way in yet. But Terra picking up the kill on towards Too Easy could at least open up maybe a route.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Do what you can at this point. There's a good kill onto Drunks, opening up that B flag. They do have some building control here. They are getting the capture, but, you know, without being able to hold down all the buildings, that B flag is always wide open for Crossfire. And Fnatic here controlling everything they need, and ExAequo just getting dominated, really.
And even before the storm fully comes into effect, we are 2 tickets away from Fnatic going through to tomorrow's games. GG's are already said. Fnatic will be through to the semi-finals. ExAequo bowing out maybe a little earlier than expected and a little bit quicker than expected, but I feel that loss of their key player may have been a huge factor in this one, but still, hopefully they've done enough to get through these groups and, you know, look forward to the next couple of games in towards those offline finals if they make it there this time. But you know, it's all about tomorrow's games. Big things can happen, big changes can be made. So let's just check in to see who'll be joining us in the semi-finals tomorrow. Or at least who'll be joining you, because, you know, I got benched because everyone likes Dogbert more.
I get that a lot. More people are just like, yeah, get rid of Pansy. She's terrible. Get Dogbert in. He's like the best ever. No, don't worry. That's never happened once.
I've said it a couple of times. People don't listen, apparently. But it'll be Fnatic against MYM. And then Pyrogen, I can imagine Epsilon?
Yeah, Epsilon have already won their game, so it'll be Epsilon, Pyrogen, and MYM versus Fnatic. MYM have kind of started to pick themselves up a bit. Obviously, Pyrogen had a really awful week last week as they dropped twice against Ignitas. Meat Makers have been doing a lot better recently. I think they came back after the finals a lot more relaxed than other teams, and they've really stepped it up recently. I think they got to the finals against Fnatic in the Naval Cups. They did lose twice, though, I believe. I might be wrong. I was paralytic during the weekend. But at the top of the bracket, Pyrogen against Epsilon will be an interesting game. Epsilon have been doing really, really well recently. I think they've won 2 cups now in a row. They are sitting at the top of the scoreboard, well ahead of Fnatic. And you know what? Pyro can always bring it. And I think this is when a lot of teams are going to be stepping up their game. So either way, both of these games tomorrow are going to be really good. And yeah, I'll be joined by Brett. FX joined me from America, taking time off work. Yeah, to join in cast. No idea what time in the morning that is for him, but
horrific
either way,
time.
Yeah, horrific o'clock, and he's going to join in and give me a hand. So that'll be great.
That's really awesome. So you heard it there yourselves, guys at home. Do make sure you tune in tomorrow. We will be seeing some great games. Sadly, I won't be bringing it to you, but the man who's been joining me for the entirety of today, Dogbert, has been a great guest and a great host with me, to be fair, and he'll be casting with Brett tomorrow. So make sure you follow down below on the Twitters. There's mine there if you bother following me if you want to. I don't blame you if you don't, but do make sure you follow Dogbert because he'll be tweeting out when he does go live, and make sure you follow all the usual aspects of how to get involved with the show, and make sure you're up to date when we go live as well. It will still be on this channel, but it will have a lot better camera work, it'll have a lot better casting, and a lot less of me. But guys, make sure you tune in and give a lot of love to the 2 guys who'll be covering it tomorrow, because I'll be watching, I'll be in Twitch chat with you. So let's find out who will be getting themselves into that best position going in towards those ever important group stages not too far away. So guys, thank you for tuning in tonight, and hopefully I'll be watching with you lot tomorrow.